phone, and we were missing a lot of communication opportunities, where now we have instant message through the app. We encourage them to download the app as soon as they check in, or even when they make their reservation. So before they even get to the resort, they will have an idea of the app, learn how to use it, what's on there, and they can set up notifications. So if we do send out a message that they are going to need some information, either while they're there or before their stay, they'll get a notification on their cell phone. So it's just another touch point and communication tool, and it's been really beneficial for us.
Just so you guys understand too, so Mike here, he's with CRR, so they have how many parks now, Mike?
14.
They have 14 parks, they have one app with 14 parks listed. Zenith Properties, they have 6 parks right now, they use our app, but they have 6 individual apps for the specific parks. Unhitched RV, they just came on with us pretty much last year into this year. They're growing like crazy, I don't know what the number is right now. And then Kim just started with us, actually, I think in February. Yeah, February is when we went live. Got a funny story that I'm sure Kim will talk about with that one. Okay, so great, yeah, so, and what Olivia was referring to about the messages is they're all push notifications. So just like when you download an app on your phone right now and you get a notification, that's what they are. So the notifications are free. So if you're using a park management software system such as NewBook, CampSpot, Stateless, any of those big ones out there, you can send messages from there, but those are text messages, you get charged for those. So we always recommend that you send those messages out for the booking reservation piece of information, but all the push notifications that Olivia was talking about for anything else, such as schedule change or bad weather, we gotta cancel or something like that. That's what the push notifications are for. So, I'll go to the next question and have somebody else answer. What made you, and Kim, I think I'm gonna point this one to you, what made you decide to move forward with a custom mobile app instead of sticking with email, text message, social media, or print materials?
Absolutely. So I feel like, the new generation of RVers coming up, they're looking for the more tech-savvy equipments. They're familiar with apps. Everything has an app now, so it just seemed like made the most sense to go ahead and bring on an app with all of our activities on it. We just wanted a place to have all of our campground information in one location. I preach to our staff, over communicate, and this is just another venue for that. So from check-in for their whole stay and leaving feedback when they check out, the app provides that.
Yeah, for us, I think too, so we have 34 properties as of this morning, last I checked. And us being able to come in and help those properties, so we own and operate multiple properties, getting everything in one place in the app was huge, because we have different property maps and different logos and different addresses, and At My Community has helped us build all of that out, because we're training every time we onboard a new property, we're onboarding a new team most of the time. So the system that we've built with At My Community allows us to seamlessly create an experience for that guest where they can find everything in one place, and allows us to scale and build something really, really great. We actually have a template app that we're able just to build from, where we just duplicate and then customize it for that property, what they have going on. And so it's worked really, really well for us.
I'll go to the next question.
Okay. All right. Great, thank you. All right, Mike's the next question. Here we go. What feature, I don't know if you know this one, what feature of your app has delivered the biggest impact so far, and why?
Oh, sure. Can everybody hear me? Do I need the mic? Good? All right. For us, I think we're one of the
you know what? I think you're recording, right?
No, he can hear just fine.
Oh, okay.
I hope so.
Gotcha. I think we're one of the early adopters, with At My Community, and for us, we use it for, kind of very many different disciplines. There's like a back of the house facing part, so we use it for like onboarding new associates. You can post your schedules in there. We have like a scavenger hunt, for new associates, like, hey, go find, the pickleball courts, or count how many Petway stations we have on property, right? Just so you can help them familiarize themselves with the property. We love the activities part of it. I think that's for everybody probably the most used feature, and You know, it should integrate with almost all the PMSs, so, you know, we don't have to update it in 2 places. You know, we update it once in the app, and then it automatically feeds to like camp spots or our website pages. You know, when guests who don't have the app yet, you know, are on our website and looking for activities, you know, they can see clearly, you know, what is going on. And then obviously it has the map feature that, you know, can also integrate with either campground views or some of the other ones, you know, which is far better than, you know, handing out the pizza map, especially with turn-by-turn directions now. You know, especially if you've got a big campground, or, you know, it's go down here, a quarter of a mile, take a left, and then it's in the rotary. You know, you can follow right along, you know, in your GPS, you know, on the phone. So those are probably the 3 most used, I would say, for us.
And good question too. I gotta do a shout out to, I see a sign right here with Camp Map, so we just integrated with Camp Map as well, which is the GPS directions, so got a good partnership going now, so go ahead, Marie.
Yeah, we do the scavenger hunt too. That's a good idea. I've never thought about using it for the employees, to learn, the new employees, to learn more about the park, but the guests do love the scavenger hunts. Being on the marketing side, they, At My Community now has an analytics portion so that you can run reports on how your guests are using the app. So I always calculate the top 10 most clicked buttons within the app, and it's always messages is almost always number 1. Number 2 is almost always activities, and then number 3 is usually like the weather or something like that, and checking the weather.
Yeah, just to add on to that. Oh, by the way, tomorrow at 3 p.m., check out my utilizing technology to enhance brand and guest experience. We're going to do some live AI sessions in there, typing in prompts. But anyhow, I was just showing Bobby, actually he has an alligator named after him at Savannah Lakes. It drinks beer, I think it smokes, I'm not sure. But I was just showing him, because he's been to our property, over the weekend. You know, it's migration time right now for alligators, and we're right next to the Savannah Wildlife Refuge. So we have 4 alligators that live on property full time in our lakes. You know, the first one's called Gertie. She was a baby, and now she's like 3.5 feet. So we have 4 of those, but every once in a while we'll get some of the bigger ones that come in from the wildlife refuge. Over the weekend we had like a 5.5 footer that came in, big sucker, walking along. You know, he parked himself right underneath one of the RVs. Parked himself on a site, and we use the app. The reason why I tell that story is we use the app, and you probably got a notification, Bobby, watch out for wildlife. But it's very helpful for communication, real time. You know, we said, you know, make sure you, obviously small pets, and is that Christos? I can't see.
He's a transient alligator.
He was a transient alligator. He was only there for 2 nights. You know, the whole thread was going, like, should we charge him site rent? And finally, you know, I had like, okay, this is fun, but like, we have to take it seriously too. Like, but yes, he was a transient alligator, not a long-term alligator.
That's great. Yeah, it was really cool. Like I said, so on their app, my favorite Savannah Lakes, just to see what kind of push notifications they're pushing out, and that was one of them. I was like, whoa, they got an alligator there. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Question 4. How has the app changed your team's daily operations or staff workflow? I think we kind of talked a little bit about that, but we'll have Kim talk a little bit on this one.
Yeah, this one closed a big gap for us. So we do, prior to getting the app, we were using the text messaging feature. We use Camp Life as our reservation system. And so we were using the Camp Life app, you know, program to push text messages out to our guests, but it created a void in our staff that lives on site. So if we were shutting down the water for a day, we would send a text out that the water was going to be shut off from this time to this time for maintenance. Our staff did not receive that text. So oftentimes they were the last ones to know that, you know, the water was going to be shut off in the park. And so having the app gives us a place to, all of my staff should have the app downloaded. So when we send that push notification out to the guests, now the staff gets it also. So it helped really close that gap for us.
For one of ours, it helped a lot because we were able to, we have some that you leave your propane that's empty right at the thing, and they were having to call into the office or send a message to whoever, and our employees were giving out their own personal number because it was more convenient, and they could just pop over there. And so now they're able to just say really quickly, what's going on, and then they can swing by and pick up and drop off. There was also a gap in the way that we were, sorry, my mind just went blank. The propane, when, on the marketing side for catching reviews. And so we needed to come in and like decorate and theme different things in the rooms. And so we were able to put up unhitched things, and said like, hey, if this bathroom isn't what it needs to be, like message us. And that has been a huge thing, because then we can catch it before someone leaves a bad review, which is horrible. And so we're able to catch a lot of things like that.
Is it alright if I stand? Like, I can't see anybody in the back.
No, sure.
It just feels weird, like, just, is that better? I have a question for you. So the QR codes that we have like Savannah, I don't know the answer to this. Do those go into the app?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Go ahead.
Can the app then, I just think about this as we're sitting here, right? We use maintenance care for all of our maintenance requests and everything like that. Can it integrate directly so that it then loads a maintenance ticket into maintenance care so that it gets tracked?
That's something we'd have to talk to Joe about. Just so you guys know too, Joe and Rose are the owners of At My Community. They started back in 2017, and Joe is actually the developer too, so this is pretty much his brainchild that he's built. That'd be a good question for Joe. Typically we can do things like that if, for one, if it has an open API, or two, if it's got a webhook and we use something like Zapier to pull it in that way. But our system, to answer Mike's question, is actually you can have your own miniature maintenance module in there, and that's kind of what Brittany was referring to. What she was saying is they have unhitched QR codes in all the restrooms or wherever. Like you saw in the video there, they said, let's scan that QR code. And what that QR code does is it pinpoints on the map that location. So they don't need to know where they're at when they're scanning that QR code. So if they're in the men's restroom in the swimming pool by the dog park, they don't need to put all that information in. The QR code's attached to it. So that's what she was referring to. So yes, to answer your question, Mike, it'll go right into the app, into the admin console. And what's really cool about that is, say one of the bathrooms just needs some toilet paper. They would scan a QR code, hit the drop-down box that needs toilet paper, hit submit. They could radio the front desk, like, hey, I'm the maintenance guy, I just got that request, I'm gonna go run stock that real quick. Goes over, stocks it, hey, toilet paper stocked. The person at the front office could just click completed, and it goes into the archive file.
Is that history, so that you can see how many times firewood was requested, when it was requested, you know, et cetera, so you can look at each time.
Yeah, you can do that. You can even order firewood through it, have it delivered, and charge a delivery fee if you wanted to. I mean, it's all about convenience. Some of our parks, they have their own beer and wine license. So they'll actually deliver beer to the sites as long as the person's 21 years old, of course. But yeah, so they make money like that, because I know if I'm sitting around the campfire, I don't want to go to the camp store and buy more beer if I can just scan or get on the app and do it. So one of the security guards, he's probably one of their biggest salesmen. He would always drive around in the golf cart, and of course people would get, you know, like kind of freaked out when the security guys starting to show up. So what he did is he put the ice chest on his golf cart with a QR code for ice, and then put like 4 or 5 bundles of firewood on it. So now he's their biggest salesman as he drives around the park, and now people want him to come to their site, especially if they're low on ice for firewood. So they just scan the QR code and they pay right through the app. We can connect it to certain park management software systems where we do what's called charge to site. There's only a few of them that we can do that with, but we can also charge directly into the app using the Stripe merchant processor. So, yeah.
Question for you. So when we're doing the QR codes as well, in our bathhouses, stuff like cabins, all that, does the guest get any kind of a response once we mark it complete? Is there any feedback, or they just put it off into the ether and then?
Yeah, it's not a two-way communication yet. We have that on our roadmap for a little bit that I think Joe's kind of playing around with. But right now, it's just a communication directly to the staff. We didn't want to have this like back and forth communication, because like you said, people are giving out their personal numbers. Kind of the same concept. We don't want to like 100 or 200 campers constantly going back and forth with somebody. So we haven't done that. It might come down the road, but I'm not sure. Just so you guys know, he's with Kim with Campground the Golf. So, yes, question?
Are you guys selling the app, or are you just telling us how great the app is?
They're the ones telling you how great the app is. Yeah, so I'm just here to answer questions.
You're just telling us about the app.
Yeah, just telling you how that works, how they utilize it in their property, and how it can be beneficial for guests, staff, anybody like that. So,
Selling the app too.
my session was
It's
more.
great, you can buy it.
Yeah, my session was more about how our current clients are using it, to let people who might think about getting that at their park, hey, I heard it from their specific trial and errors and stuff, maybe it's something we're interested in going and talking about. So that's what we are a vendor here. We do have a booth, so if you have any questions about it, you can come up and talk to me. But I didn't want this to be a sales pitch session. I wanted it to be, these are real current clients, ones that are brand new, ones that have been around for a while, and how they're utilizing it.
But you're not, you were saying some other guy created the app.
That's Joe Rose, so I work with Joe Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the chief marketing officer for At My Community. Joe's the CEO and his wife is the COO, Rose. So they're the ones that, they're just not here. I'm here right now. Joe will actually be here tomorrow. So you can talk to him, he's the brains of this whole background. So. And how the app works is you guys get your own admin console. And then we set you up that admin console. Once we get it pushed to the App Store, you have full control to make updates and changes anytime you want to. We're always here to help with that. So it's basically a communication tool.
So for the admin console, can you access that from your cell phone, or does it have to be a laptop or tablet?
You can access it from your phone. It's a little touchy.
We have the app.
Yeah, you can do it. If you go into the same console, actually I was just doing it today on my phone for the conference app. So if you guys download the conference app, I built that. So if you have any feedback for that, let me know. I'd be happy to make some changes and updates to it. But you can, a lot of times what I do is I turn my phone like this and then I can get to the other buttons. It's not designed to be from the phone, but you can do it just by going into
He
your
wants
browser.
to see pictures, but he's only on his phone. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'll show you. Get with me after the session. I'll show you where you can go and log into the console and see the pictures. You say here's.
Yes, I mean, I need it too. But.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you guys.
Are you guys selling anything through the app now? Anybody?
Yeah, we do. We sell like firewood and ice.
Does it pay you through the app or does it pay through your own?
No, you don't pay anything through the app. It goes through the PMS.
There's two ways to do it.
It's like a charge to site?
Yeah, so they could order it through the app and then come to the store and you can charge a card there. But we do have our own processing within the app if you want to do it. Here's a good example. One of our parks in Wisconsin, they use Square for all of their in-store, camp store stuff. Anytime they want firewood or ice or anything delivered, they use the Stripe purchase processor within the app, and now they know exactly what is being charged through the app and what is being charged through the store. They did that on their own, just to say they want to keep it separate from each other. And then, of course, they reconcile all of their.
But a customer could open up the app, enter in payment information and buy it, right?
Yep, it's PCI compliant with the app.
Does it do that?
I don't think we have them set up with that because a lot of them will use their own park management software system that has their own built-in point of sale system, POS. And then depending on which PMS it is, we can integrate. We're integrating with two right now, which is called Charge to Site, which is kind of like when you're here at the hotel and you go to the restaurant, you order food, you say just put it on my room. You can do the same thing at parks that use two specific PMS systems where you say charge it to my site. That way it just builds you a folio and then you pay the folio at the end of your stay. Or if you wanted to go through our system, you would just set up a Stripe account, it goes right into your account. I'd be happy to talk more about all that at our booth. Joe will be here, he's, like I said, the brains of it, but we can talk more about all that stuff too, so.
I have another useful tool for the app. I'm the marketing manager, so a lot of my staff is just focused on marketing in the app. But I know that content creation is kind of a struggle for a lot of owners. And I like to use the app for running photo contests, and that's how I get a lot of free content from our guests. I will run a photo contest, and they can submit their photos through the app. There's a button there that just says submit your photos or photo contest. And we'll run that for like a month, and I'll get hundreds of great park photos from our guests for free, and we just give the winners like a $50 gift card, and they love to do that. So there's a lot of different things you can use the app for.
That's a great one, yeah.
I'd like to add to that. I was shocked when our app went live, how many pictures started coming in. The guests are very willing to share pictures, and we didn't even ask for it. It just was a link on the app, and the pictures started coming in, so the guests were excited to use that.
And the good thing about that too is you guys get to monitor the pictures before they actually get out to like your social medias. I mean, they can still get out there, but that's a good thing about doing that contest there. So yeah, that's a great tool to use that. And you can also put a disclaimer on there that says by submitting this photo, you agree to let us use your pictures for promotional purposes and things like that. So you can and they have to click agree before they can do it.
So a little bit along kind of the earlier question, let's say they don't have At My Community right now, they're not necessarily interested in getting At My Community. Are there alternative solutions to accomplish some of these things that a park could use, whether it's, communication notifications or whether it's activities, not to sell against yourself, but, it isn't a sales pitch, right? You're trying to help the campgrounds. How can they accomplish it if they don't have it yet, or maybe they're gonna get it, but won't be till 2 months to set up? How can some of these things be done otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great ways you can do it. Use Google Calendar for just events and stuff if you wanted to, and have that on your website, or bring it up on your phone if that's all you're doing for activities and stuff. As for the notifications piece, you'd have to have them go down with like a third-party type chat system, like Telegram or Band or something like that. I mean, there's other ways to do what we're doing. The app just brings it all together in one email. Yeah, you can do things like that. We also have a web app version as well that's included with the app version. So if people don't want to download the app to their phone, you can give them a different link that opens up their browser on their phone, and it's the web app version of it. We always encourage them to download the app because then it caches everything to your phone. If you have a web app, you have to be connected to internet either via cellular service or internet service. So that is included with our packages and everything as well. Well, let's go to the next question here. All right, have you seen any measurable increase in I hate that word, I can never say it, ancillary revenue, events, rentals, advertising, advertising upgrades, etc. since launching the app? So any other types of things you've done with this? You want to speak on that?
We do a lot of internal specials, so we do use the app for advertising and marketing our specials as well. So, whether we're offering a longer stay for a discounted rate or anything like that, that's something that we can advertise directly to our current guests in order to get some ancillary.
Anybody else do anything yet? I know you guys just started.
We just got started. So as far as the events go, the RSVP, there is an option with an activity that you have that you can request the guest to RSVP to. And we have fishing lessons at 7 a.m. in the morning, surf fishing, and that is RSVP required so that the gentleman who comes knows how many poles to bring and things like that. And that is a very popular activity, and I believe part of it is because of the RSVP. I think it increases the excitement for the event.
Makes it feel like they're part of something.
Yeah.
And you can do RSVPs to the app, you can do all kinds of good stuff, you can do counts through it, you can sell tickets to the app, cool stuff. All right, this will be a good one for you guys. This is gonna kind of make me feel weird here, but I'm gonna let Kim take this one. What surprised you the most after your app went live?
I wasn't even gonna share this.
Go ahead, it's fine.
That it was live.
We forgot to tell her that it was live.
Yeah, so we had been working with Jenna. Jenna is amazing.
Awesome.
If you decide to go ahead and come on board, Jenna will work with you, and she is side by side with you through the whole building the app process, every step of the way. And my daughter Autumn was at the Ojai convention, the George O'Leary, with Bobby, and Bobby came up to her and said, "How are you guys liking your app?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's live." And she's like, "It is?" And she sent me a text message and was like, "Mom, our app is live." So surprise, yeah. So no, that was it. But no, probably the picture would have been my answer to this is the guest involvement in the app, providing feedback, providing the photos, and just jumping in right away immediately. I sent out a Facebook message that we had an app now, and people start jumping in, and you can watch your analytics on how many people have downloaded the app and opened the app, and so that has been fun to watch, that involvement.
Our coolest thing, we have a 55 plus park, and they have rolled out the app. I think they might have been on it the longest. And we were very hesitant because they have a chalkboard that they write the events on for the day, and like in cork boards, and they do bingo and card games and all of the things you would do at a 55 plus park. We have like the most adoption at that park above any of the other ones. And when they want to they have volunteers that are in the park because they have seasonals that come in, and they're there in November to March. So the volunteers will do the event calendar and the activities. They will actually notify us, and they make sure all the T's are dotted and all the things are done, to make sure all the activities and every picture is in there, and they're super adamant about it, and honestly, probably more involved than we are. Like, it's amazing, and so that was super surprising for us.
Yeah, all of our parks are 55 plus, and same thing. Everybody jumped on it pretty quickly, and they enjoyed using it. It's very easy for them to use. It's very easy for our staff to learn how to use, and then they offer the training as well. So, but yeah, I think that was probably one of our biggest surprises too, was just how many people downloaded it and were using it right away, and they are all 55 plus. So we were also well hesitant on how that would be perceived.
For us, is it weird that I'm standing and they're sitting? Alright, I'll sit back down. I can't see me. I see like you guys. That's good. For us, I don't know if it's a surprise, but a couple different things. One is just the breadth of what you can do with it. You know, we have a lot of great general managers, and they all use it for different things, right? And I think we've probably helped out my community build out some more of the functionality based on ideas, right? Like, hey, could we do this or could we do that? And you know, Bobby actually built our conference app, you know, for us, for our leadership conference as well, right? So you could build an app for the conference. So just the various, like somebody had mentioned, you know, about the associate scavenger hunt. That was one of our general manager's ideas at Verde Rancho V Resort. She's like, she loaded it. Like, we had nothing to do with that. It was her idea. She came up with it, and then we've started to use it at all of our properties. So we've leveraged the ideas and experience of our property leaders to help kind of grow, you know, the different functionality. So surprise, I'm not sure, more just you know, interestingness. The other part, you know, what have you learned from it is, remember, if it gets loaded on your app, you better do it, right? Like if you have an activity and then, you know, nobody shows up to do the activity, you're gonna hear about it, right? Or, you know, make sure your information is accurate. You know, oh, it says you have a bathhouse over here, but it's like 500 yards away, you know, so I think those were learnings that we had early on, clearly, is make sure whatever is in there is 100% right.
That's a good point. Great, and I have to give a shout out to Carol Lee. Carol Lee is his general manager.
She's the one that actually helped me with the conference app, so she did most of the work. So shout out to her. All right, how do you encourage guests or members to download the app, and what has worked best? Any come to mind?
Just the employees, teaching your staff to promote that app. I no longer print any of our activities, any of that information. We don't print anymore. So when a guest comes in to ask about an activity schedule, we point them to the app. And it is a great option because not everybody wants to download an app, especially if they're only here for a night or two. So to have the web version included so they don't have to put something else on their phone, you can direct them to that. That is a big way. And then we have the QR codes posted throughout. At each reservation station is a QR code. We are about to put them in each bathhouse, and each cabin will now have a QR code where the guests can use to download the app and report issues, request service, things like that.
We're still rolling out the app at all of our parks because we're growing very quickly. The biggest thing, and we actually met with Bobby and his team and just asked them, like, hey, what's working at Mike's park? Because he's doing it amazingly well. And what's working well. So like having their team and being able to ask all of the questions, like they're with us the entire time as we're rolling it out. We have put a lot of time into making sure our employees are using it and that they're aware of it, and that they've all downloaded it on their phone, and we've kind of gamified it for our team. And so they get a specialized, swag that they can only get if they get so many people, and they get mentioned in the review, or they get mentioned in the app, or they, whatever it is. And so getting our team on board first was a big part of making sure the guests know about it to us.
We'll be giving our secrets out.
You didn't give them. There was a lot that just kept really close to the chest.
Very vague.
High level.
Yeah, we do a lot of the same similar things. We have the QR codes, we have stickers on the mirrors on the bathrooms or on the doors. I post it on Facebook, social media. One thing to keep in mind is that anyone can download the app, right? So you don't have to be a guest to download the app. So if you have a reservation 5 months from now, you can download the app and get really familiar with the park before you get there. Also, our staff pushes the app when guests arrive, and we also have a card in our arrival packet that has the QR code and information on the app as well.
For us, does anybody in here have more than one property? A few of you I can see. We have one app as opposed to an app for each property. And why that's important for us is, we have a very large group at a different property in Texas that actually stayed at Carolee's property in Savannah. And they knew that because they went on the app and they said, oh, you have one in Texas? And so, it's a $40,000 group that, went from one property to another, and now it's gonna go to a third property, right? So I would encourage, if you have more than one property, everybody wants to handle it differently, but for us, we like to have it one place so they can see where they can go that are, other CRR properties, if you will. As far as how we communicate it, I don't know if any of you are using, but we include it in our pre-arrival emails, with the link. We also have the download on all of our websites, so that, the guests can, get it before they arrive, as well. I wish we could say we have perfect adoption, but a lot of it's up to the general manager and how well they execute it. Some properties are far better than others, but everybody uses it. But I would say the associates, as they mentioned at the desk, the activities, pre-arrival emails, the website, those are primarily, and the QR codes, those are primarily kind of how we drive it.
Okay, that was great. Thank you.
All right, let's go to question number. We got two more. Can you share a specific example where push notifications or instant communication and made a real difference? I know, Mike, you already did one with the alligator coming through, but yeah, tell us about it.
100% hurricanes. Yeah, so that definitely, any kind of emergency notification situation, whether tornado, hurricane, flood, it is definitely a huge help. Because like I said earlier, not everybody is checking their email. We don't have time, the staff doesn't have time to call every single guest in an emergency. So if there's any kind of emergency at the resort, it's really helpful, but I'd say probably weather-related issues would be the biggest one.
We do that too for hurricanes. One thing I would caution about that is, remember, not every guest has an app on there, and so we had the same discussion about this alligator situation, but also a hurricane. And so communication through the app is great, but if you look at the people on site, it's probably less than 10% of everybody has the app that's currently staying on a property at any given time. I mean, there's no way we have 500,000 downloads of our app. So that's, again, the one thing, what do you learn from it, what do you get cautioned is, our staff sometimes thinks everybody has the app, but they certainly don't. And so that's just one thing that we got to remember as we utilize it more and more.
Just another tool.
Yeah.
And one thing too, we have a lot of integrations that we work with a lot of companies here as well, like Wild Energy. I think it's Mike back there. Wild Energy, we do Wi-Fi metering, so whenever they go to a park, such as I think some of you have, I don't know if you guys do or not, but anyways, some do where the users could actually go there for like a seasonal or a long term. They could look at the actual app when they log in and click and see all their meter readings. So that's just one example. We integrate with, we already talked about several PMS systems. So there's a lot of integrations we're doing to try to make it more easy and streamlined, specifically for your guests and for your staff. So I just want to make sure I iterated on that. If you were starting the process over again, what would you do the same or differently with getting an app for your property?
You want us to tell you that slide?
I would again, there is a little bit of an extra fee for them to build the app. It was 100% worth it. Jenna, she worked very well on it. She contacted me, asked me for our activity calendars. I gave her all of our guest guides, things like that, and she was able to plug it right in. So that was a huge help.
Anybody else? Ready? Nothing? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so what she's referring to is we do onboarding, which will put everything into your app for you, and it's half the licensing fee, and I can tell you all the prices and stuff if you want to come by or talk to me after this session. But yeah, we'll put all that stuff in there, like she said. Jenna does a really good job. Rose will work on it too. Sometimes I'll even jump in and help out if we need to. So our goal is just to make sure that we're always taking care of everybody when it's building this app. We don't just throw it at you and then say good luck. We're always here to help. Whenever you're in your admin console, there's a little green question mark there. You click on it and hit the chat button. It goes directly to Joe's phone, and eventually will go to Jenna's too. So Joe loves when I say that. So, but the great thing about it is he always gets notifications and he'll respond quickly. So, all right, let's go here. What would you say to an owner or operator who is still on the fence about launching their own app? I think we have about 5 minutes.
Anybody here that's launching their own app, what would you say?
Do it.
I know what I would say. And we can do some questions and answers too if you guys want to. Like I said, this is all just kind of going with the flow.
Can I ask what, you had mentioned earlier, the roadmap for App My Community? How are you guys leveraging AI? How are you gonna integrate it into the app as you go forward? How are you gonna evolve the app, modernize the app, some of those other things?
Yeah, that's more of a question for Joe, because he's the background on this one, and he's not here, so he'll be at the booth tomorrow evening and on Friday. But one thing I do know we are currently doing, it's a very small, but we do have ChatGPT integrated within the app. And what that does is whenever you put an event on your calendar, you can actually go in there and click one button to say create flyer. And it pulls in the image you use, it pulls in the wording, the text and everything, and it actually pulls in a very basic type system where you can move the words around, change the colors, things like that, and build a flyer right there in the app. So you don't have to go outside the app to Canva or whatever program you're using to build a whole flyer. It's just one click of a button, and that's pulling it in from ChatGPT. Even if you didn't have an image on there, it'll find the words that you use for that event and try to pull in an image and create one for you based on AI. So that's one small piece we're doing right now. For the future stuff, again, Joe and I have talked about things for the future, maybe a AI bot or something within the app, little things like that, but again, that's nothing set in stone right now. So, good question, Mike. But yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I want you guys to hear directly from them, so please round of applause for them for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys again. And if you have any questions, got a question way back there?
Go back there or over the shop? Yeah, any questions, please let me know. And any feedback about the conference app, please.
I'm Joe Trevino, I'm the general manager at Keystone Heights RV Resort, and we went to the app a couple of years ago, but getting everybody on board to use it, especially our guests, is a challenge. And here lately, there's been quite a few of them that asked for either a training class or a short video. So I just wondered if you guys did anything like that. Thank you.
Have you guys done any videoing? Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we have Keystone Heights with us too. Thank you. No, that's a really good idea to have videos to show people how to actually use the app. Yeah, that's a good idea. I know one of our properties, they actually have their maintenance person, he does how-to videos specifically for the park. So they'll take a phone and video him how to hook up the sewer line or how to hook up a cable if you still have a cable hookup. And they video him and put the videos on the app so people can watch it that way. So he's actually their famous person around the park now because everybody's like, oh, you're the guy in the videos.
You said your name was Joe, right? Joe. Sometime later today or tomorrow, you could answer that exact question. You could drag your app or the link to your app or name the app into ChatGPT or Claude or to Gemini and just say that exact thing, and it will create a training class for you. You can ask it either in video form or written form, and it has nothing to do with App My Community, just using AI to do that exact thing. It will create it for you in 1 minute, which could help you solve that challenge for your guests.
Cool. I'm gonna try that. Come to his session. Cool. Well, that was pretty much everything. Again, if you have any questions for me, here's my information. We'll have our booth as well. I'm sure if they're around, they wouldn't mind answering questions for you too. I hope you guys got some good information out of this and realize that the app could be something really good for you and your staff. So, question?
So, with the restaurants in our local area, we talked last year about working with them with discounts or something. How do we do that with the restaurants? Like Domino's, we get delivery for them all the time.
Yeah.
We just go to Domino's and tell them about the app and see if they want to jump on board.
Yeah, so what she's asking is, and that's one thing we really didn't touch on. Mike, do you want to go
Well,
ahead?
yes, you can do that, but also we've started, who still uses the print guest guides where they have to come in, they go out and get advertisers. Anybody still do that? That's 20 years ago, right? And so for the app, we do the same thing, and we now ask them if they want to advertise in the app instead. And so that helps fund the cost for the app at several of the properties for us, as we'll ask them if they want to do a $200 or $400 ad. It's up there forever. It's a good way to help supplement the cost is by getting the advertising directly in the app.
So yeah, so the question was, and I failed to touch point on that. You can use your app to actually sell advertising space. You can do it either through a header. What we do is called a splash screen as well, which is a screen that comes up when you first open the app. All of it is tracked when we were talking about the analytics, so you can always tell Domino's how many times they got clicked on from your app. So to answer your question, it's just you know your area the best. So we don't have like a team of people that'll go out to those Domino's, but if you just go there and take your app, say we have this app now, everybody's always asking about what's around here and where can they get pizza or something. We're trying to help offset the cost of our app. Would you like to charge? And you guys can set your own payment scale. And we have a few guides too that we can send out to you that some other parks have used that will show you like exactly what they did to charge, but in their specific area. So that's a great way to do it. I don't know if you guys are doing that yet or not, but we're always here to help give advice too. As I mentioned, Joe, Rose, me, Jenna, we have our salesperson, our account executive, Callie. There's only really 6 of us in this company, so we're always here. And I'm an avid RVer as well, so I'm in this industry with you. I actually get to stay at Campground on the Golf. I let know their app is live, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, if you have any questions, please, if you see me, stop me, say hi. Thank you guys again for being here.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I know, right?
Not even
So
yet.
they basically heard the whole world stops.
I was surprised you heard the same message.
Okay, just about definitely by far.
Yeah, if you want me to share, you guys have
I never saw you walk past us. Oh, because we sat at the table.
And we'll have to talk to him about this afterwards, cause he's one of the employees. He was wanting two-way, and I said, I don't think that that's, when I talked to Jenna before, that was not, no.
We're trying to do things to increase the shoulder season business.
And I said, we can't do that.
We just got a notification
Like for housekeeping,
from
I
an
should
employee
look for
after we
housekeeping.
were, because we get targeted emails from members. The
but they just get,
Work resources, yeah.
whatever.
Didn't realize that,
Instead of
yeah.
making us more our own things, so.
That's right.
But now there is a through the app, will make us.
That'll help.
You just have to drop down. The one that always watches us. So we can show you that difference.
Okay.
Oh, no, and you say that's what I say. Right.
I put every single one of our employees' email addresses in the app, but I might not have done it right. I don't know.
So like tomorrow.
I can push it tomorrow, like tomorrow.
Yeah, and also I want to.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
She says it's their
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, we use that, and haven't used the app, and like use it when people make a purchase in the store, but just, we didn't have the program. Our POS is,
Oh, there is a guy in Southport that does
no,
that.
there's no purchases, so then we use my phone. I can't, so we're not, the companies that are, and then we use Checkpoint for our reservation program. So with reservations, the website, but more. So I got, on firewood, and I don't know, I would like them to be able to buy firewood. They just do, I have, Zelle and that on there.
Yeah, they're not with AI.
Yeah. I mean, the big one was really, it would help us with the firewood and ice. Those are two big sellers that people have to wait in office for. We should don't wait for firewood anymore because our QR codes are down cash out. If we're on outside, but for the other.
I had like a jumping off cliff. I was gonna buy it, where am I gonna go? Like, it's coming, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you have to.
Now I hold the button down on my phone, I use AI every day, 10, 15 times a day.
They like writing it out.
Yeah. Like you just talk to it, you have to ask the question the right way, then you can say, okay, well, based on that,
Well,
what
our
is this?
down all night, so it's, it is, yeah, it's a trust system, and it is better now that we have our, the out there on there, before we had nothing, and then I come up and pay, which we did get, but yeah, and it goes.
It's amazing.
But yeah, we'll
it's
talk
not
to you about
always-
that and trying to figure all that
Right,
out.
so you have to know enough to.
But we use it.
That seems a little weird, like research and stuff, but 98% of the time.
Yeah, we'll look over it, you can tell me what I need to change or
Maintenance stuff.
do, and then I wanted to look at, some of their, apps, or just download so I can go through and see what they have.
Yeah.
This is Paige, and this is,
Hey,
Hi.
Hi.
I used to love this last year too.
Yes, so nice to meet you, I'm Summer. I was gonna, I'm gonna download your app so I can just like, look.
I do it all the time. I have big ones. Yeah, I have theirs.
Like, it does a lot of stuff.
Right, yeah. There's another one, we had a friend come stay at our park, last week, and Summers at in South Dakota has one, and it's huge, and I'm like, oh, I need to download theirs too, so that's a great idea, to download. Just download,
Get an idea, put it down, and then. See what they are. Well, I don't know if you get the push notifications, like, ours is set up where you're, okay, or if you're in the area, cause I don't wanna send it to our customers if they're not.
Well, I do,
So-
because I have a art center.
Right.
So,
Some announcements, like, especially if they're super fun, I send to everybody. I'm like, oh, don't you wish you were here?
and we're a transient park, so we don't have, we're not just a park.
Okay.
You know, it's, we're around the park.
Yeah.
It's Sugar Campground, yeah, so we allow side-by-sides and ATVs.
Oh, wow.
Kids, dogs, campfires, ATVs,
Yeah.
all the things.
Sorry.
We just got one in Arizona, and they have, all of their sites are built over, in the Tonto Basin. And they have 20 parks, that's what they call it. So all of their sites are super huge, so they can
Yeah.
park all of their.
So we have buddy sites, so you can put 4 campers on a site together, and you're basically boxed in.
That is very perfect.
And so we have singles, doubles, triples, and quad sites.
That's
So we'll have them in there, so there'll be some pictures on the app and whatnot, that, like the 4-way sites, so I can't really go in and get a lot of pictures of them because they're all built up there together. I'll walk up and go talk to people,
Yeah.
but it's,
So you need a photo contest, so what to do.
so, and I have a photo, so I have a photo button, and I had one person submit a photo. And I have the app is on Facebook page,